Hey everybody, and welcome to a new tutorial series I am doing on the game Wargame Red Dragon. I'm playing a low points tactical 10v10 right now, and I am on NATO playing French. So you can see we're deploying. Everybody's taking their FOBs away because we need the points, except for one guy who's got an arty piece down there. And you'll see most people deploy infantry at the start of low points games because it's cheap and you can get the most units out there. This guy's got infantry and ground units. There's me. I got some Mistrals and ground units. This guy's got chopper infantry. And this guy will have ground infantry as well. You can see everybody's taking at least 1 or 2 AA units. You always need to do that. Especially if you're playing NATO, because those Red 4 choppers will come in and drop rockets on you. Now you can see theirs. This guy's starting his helicopters above trees so they don't have to take off. That's a smart tactic. You'll see a lot of ground infantry over here on Red 4 as well. Mostly ground stuff. There is one guy up in the back that has choppers. And you'll see they have 5 FOBs. That's way too many for the low points game that we're playing. They're only going to 4,000 points. They'll never use all that many. And that's 500 points that they don't have for units that we will have in units. So you see we got our beacons out. I'm going to Bravo. And Foxhound's just going up there to Foxtrot. So we're deploying. I'm dropping that CV in Bravo. I'll take the 2 Mistral ground units up along that ridge to protect against any possible air attacks. And Foxhound just gets his chopper infantry up there. Delta gets secured. Now you'll see here that he napalmed the bridge, which is really nice. Prevents people from going and breaks line of sight there. They land a chopper and echo to try to push, and we already hit, as you can see, and it's destroyed there. So they got some infantry coming in up here, not too much. We have infantry coming as well. And my ground units are just finally making it up to Foxtrot because I didn't bring airborne infantry. So see, they napalm rocket Delta, so this guy takes his amphibious vehicles across the river, doesn't need the bridge, and brings his line infantry up to help this push against Echo. He's rocket RDing again, and they're deploying infantry into this bridge across from Foxtrot, where I'm finally getting my ATGM up there. So you can see this guy with the infantry over here is doing a pretty good job repelling that push. Kept his units out of the napalm as much as possible, and he will eventually push them back up through that part of Echo. Now I can't see all this stuff here, but I know that that's where he's putting a bunch of infantry, so I'm not going to push quite yet. I will bring a Puma and a Pirate up with some commandos. I'll use that Puma Pirate to kind of probe that city in a little bit. You see on the left there, he's moving those line infantry up, and you see they got those 5 FOBs sitting there doing nothing. And our RD is doing a really good job of nailing his command vehicles there. So we'll just see what he's got in this little city. This is a pretty good little rush to this midpoint. You want to get Foxtrot, but since they were too slow, they settled for the bridge across. See, he has 2 infantry in 1 block. Not a good idea. A block can hold up to 4 of the same infantry if they're grouped together, but it can't hold 2 at once, 2 different ones. So it's like one of those infantry is just standing out in an open field. It's no good. On the left here, you can see this guy is pushing with some ground units and a couple helicopters way up there, trying to get around Charlie here. Good thing that guy had some recon along the left side. He'll see some of those things crossing that plane, and the planes that this guy's deploying will bomb them and kill most of that stuff. Now you can see I'm still just waiting. Gonna bring that transport I have up, and you can see what it looks like from our end. Right now we don't really have good eyes on anything. We do have some recon units. Those seals on the edges are good. The seals going up to Juliet. Maybe see their command vehicle back there, and our pirate is just watching that right side, my pirate with that command vehicle there, just in case they try to sneak around that edge. from their end, you can see they can't really see too much right now either. They see a logistics chopper, a couple of infantry there that are actually shooting, and that's about it for them. So right now neither team has really good eyes on the other, and it's pretty much divided across this river. They know that, so they'll try to get this recon chopper up here. But I do have a Mistral infantry in Foxtrot, and that will shoot that chopper down here in a second. In glorious slow motion for you. So he wanted to get eyes on that city, probably so he could push with some of that infantry, but instead it's just, this chopper's just going to go down. I do play this on max settings, so it can look pretty nice sometimes. I just wish I had more time to view in on these types of explosions there. And check it out. So now we'll go back to neutral so you can see both sides play it out. So he still has no eyes. We don't really have any eyes on him. This guy's going to bring up the Scout Bradley to try to get eyes on, and I move my Mistrals more towards that side since we're pretty much covered in Foxtrot and they don't have a lot of air. They're still trying to rocket that infantry push in Echo, but he's doing a good job holding it in that city with that line infantry he's got. And you can see we still don't have good eyes on here. I'm going to move that pirate up to try to see if it draws any AA fire. They're cheap. You can see they're not very many points, 25. The range on them is 1575. So they can take out infantry units pretty easily if they don't have AA support, but this guy does. He'll shoot a couple missiles at mine and I'll back it off. Eventually he'll get those with the missiles when I push, but I don't mind him wasting the 3 missiles on it. He didn't hit it at all, so I just pull it back and keep it there for now. And you can see that push in Echo is pretty much repelled. This guy's still got decent amounts of line infantry, and the commando's backed by the command vehicle, and he can pretty much have a clear view, pretty much clear all the way up through that city block there. Just some recon, AA units, nothing that his infantry can't handle, especially those Royal Marines. So you can see we got this side blocked off pretty good. We got a solid foothold in Foxtrot. They don't really have anything to push with because of all the points wasted over here and all the points on those fobs. I don't know what this guy was doing, but his vehicles don't have the autonomy to get all the way down around Charlie, and these seals spot them as they're crossing this plain over here on the left. Tanks end up, well, they don't have tanks, but the little transports they have ended up getting bombed by planes and stuff like that, so that never turns out to be a threat. So I asked for some arty here on these things. He drops 4 rounds on it, and I think that would panic some of the infantry, so I move up to pirate, and it gets owned. So that happens while we're over here looking at the left. So you can see they're dropping the napalm on the stuff over there. They'll drop a cluster bomb on it as it goes across. This guy's moving the Bradley up. He's bringing a Hemet up for supplies. You can see I brought a logistics truck up to supply the Milans and the AA unit there, and it does use them. I moved that supply truck back and forth a few times. Really important to keep your units supplied, as this guy's finding out over here as his vehicles run out of fuel. So he didn't bring enough supplies, didn't take the time to refuel them, and they get stranded and bombed. And I think a couple of those transports make it over, but just end up getting wasted by a very token defense. I don't know what the rest of that stuff is doing over there, but he's not helping his team. With such low points, you need to be conscious of being effective. Here, me and the Bradley are just picking off stuff, fire position on some of the cities, see what comes out. I think a couple of their transports come out and we waste them. Yeah, there's 2 transports. You see, we still can't really see anything. So that's why the Bradley's kind of inching up a little bit there. There goes one of his transports that we're killing. My AMX takes an optical hit. And here's a really important feature. You gotta use reverse to back away from things. Keep your front armor pointed at them. Now they're gonna arty some a little bit, and really nice to, he sees that we're pushing a little bit. this plane takes a hit from my Mistrals, gets shot at by this other scout Mistral, and that Thunderbolt takes it down. So it's important to have enough AA, and that's why. So the arty guy's really smart. He sees that we're trying to push a little bit. He smokes that city for us. There you can see one or two of the vehicles made it and got taken out by a Scout Cobra. Only a couple of them. None of the rest had enough autonomy. So I'm moving the scouts, the Commando Marines, up under the cover of this smoke. And I'm going to pause it in a second here, and you can see the view. Even though he has all those units, the Marines make it all the way across the bridge because the smoke blocked the view for them, and they can't see anything. Just like I can only see them, they can only see me. I got an AMX tank in the bottom right there. That Bradley CFE is firing at them as well. And my little AMX transport just got wasted, but it was just a transport, so it doesn't really matter. With the extra fire support from the tank and the Bradley, we cleared the city with the commandos. I take that cargo truck and move it back to his Hemet to refill it, since it only carries a little bit. And he doesn't need the whole Hemet for just his Bradley. That's probably all he had, so it's better if we distribute the supplies anyways. As you can see, my other supplies are going to the Mistrals and the Milan over there. And I clear the scout and the rest of that little city complex there. He blind fires some rockets trying to hit my infantry. He thought I kept them still or something. But I know that they probably don't have much over there since we pushed through that city. And I'm going to move that 50-point tank, Jeep tank, and those commandos up. You can see they don't see a single one of our units right now. So very poor recon for them. And you can see we see quite a bit up through Echo, and just took out all that stuff in the city, so I'm pretty sure Gulf is clear. I moved that stuff up and plan to go get his command vehicle up in there. There you can see me refilling off his Hemet. He clearly doesn't need all that supply for the one Bradley. He doesn't mind either. He keeps it there for me. And I'm moving a couple more commandos up to the area as well. That guy brought in some flamethrower infantry and transport that got killed by the tank, and he still has no idea I'm here. So you can see that he probably doesn't know what killed that thing, and doesn't even know there's stuff advancing. Now that's a command tank, so it'll shoot back at my tank when I attack it and almost kill it, but the commandos will take it out, I think. You can see this guy sees me pushing, so he brings in some helicopters. He's going to move them up north of Gulf. And now I need repairs on that tank, and my commandos could use a couple more men too. So I'm bringing that captured truck up there to refuel them. Meanwhile, that guy with the SEALs doing the really nice recon on the left got it up there and messes with his command vehicle back there. And here comes my cargo truck and my extra commandos. So they'll rendezvous up here in Gulf while this guy's unloading his helicopters and bringing that Bradley up for more scouting. You can see that UAZ command coming to retake the place I just killed. He probably thinks the helicopters killed it and doesn't expect ground forces trying to sneak one in there. But the commandos regroup and the tank's mostly repaired, so I move them forward. I use the regroup command on those commandos to make a squad of 3 of them, which is better than having 2 in 1 a lot of the times, and move those VABs with the autocannons and the commandos up to look for the command vehicles in the sector in the middle here from behind, kind of. So we're kind of pinching this middle sector. We take out some Setbersies and their transports. And you see I parked the tank and those autocannons on the ridge here to overlook this road, and they will kill some of the reinforcements that he's sending in there. Again, he blind fires rockets and miss. I know that the command vehicle is probably in the north part of this forest part, so I'm just going to move my commandos down and find it and kill it, and I will kill it. You can see those VABs in the plane and that tank are killing all the reinforcements as they come down the road. He pushes across India with those, that guy from Echo pushes straight through that city up into India, and we pinch in on them here. Alright, so that just about does it. We win with 4,000 points, total victory. I went 990, so 10 to 1. Other people went 950 to 0, so that's pretty good too. Hopefully you picked up some tips and tricks here on some of the tactics you can use in the low point battles. They're a little bit different. And if you liked it, you can subscribe, comment, hit the like button. But stay tuned because I'll have some other tutorials coming up on deck building, some unit reviews, and some tips and tricks for game modes other than just low point destruction. Alright, thanks.